how powerful Harvey Weinstein was at the time that I was meeting with him. Could not be told no.
Were there things that you didn't take in your career, like to compromise themselves sexually for entertainment? Have you ever...
I call it spiritual because I don't know what else to call it. He offered me 2 actresses like they was playing cards.
So Katt Williams was on Theo Von's podcast. He was asked, how did you make it through Hollywood without getting into so much trouble or baggage or sinful things? And his answer might shock you. So let's get right into it.
The people that have been in positions where they decided to do some stuff that they said they weren't going to do, they don't be the same on the other side. Nothing they can do can make them seem like what you remember them as.
So right there, he's saying, like, if you go against your moral values and your things that you believe is wrong and you do it anyway, for maybe to gain popularity or pleasure or fame, not pleasure, or money, you're still going to have consequences.
Have you ever...
I call it spiritual because I don't know what else to call it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Have you ever faced that in your own life where people try to come at you for offers like that? Do you think that like stars and get offered that kind of thing? Like to compromise themselves sexually for entertainment?
Again, the things that we are discussing exist in each of the fields.
Right, any field.
Right. Not entertainment exclusively. Politics, religion, science, everywhere, right? Some of this is human nature, right? Because we listen and we don't judge.
Yeah. Were there things that you didn't take in your career that you feel like were like are there things to look out for, do you feel like? Like
there wasn't for me because I knew I wasn't going to take it, but I did want to get offered.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And most of the stuff I wouldn't have believed until I had to get to a certain level to get to see the proof. You know what I mean? So I was as shocked as anybody about how powerful Harvey Weinstein was at the time that I was meeting with him, and how he could not be told no.
He's talking about Harvey Weinstein and how powerful he was, and he could not be told no. So I can't imagine how many people, because they didn't want to compromise their, money, their power, their ability to make it in Hollywood, they would just go with things that probably no one wants to ever find out.
Whatever he want, you follow what I'm saying?
They'll figure out some way.
Right, so I thought that didn't apply to me because I don't care about nothing but bitches and good business, right? Yeah. And then he offered me 2 actresses like they was playing cards. Damn. And I was like, what?
Like he just jilted it. Like,
he was like, I know you, right?
Wait, so Harvey Weinstein offered him 2 actresses just like to sleep with, I'm assuming? That's super sus. I wonder what he said here.
What?
Some aces.
No, my personal aces.
Yeah. Did you think about it?
Look, I'm not... In these scary situations, I don't even leave it up to me. Like, I'm going to do what the superhero would do in this part of the movie regardless, and deal with what happens after. Yeah, just because it's a story. And
So what are you saying? Are you saying like what a superhero would do the right thing, and even though doing the right thing is probably a consequence that's not gonna end up good in your favor?
It's a story, right? It's my story. You know what I mean? So I can't.
That's a good way to think about things in general.
Yeah.
What would the superhero do right now?
Yeah, because I'm saying, I read about Jesus getting to the mountaintop and the devil saying you can have all of this, and him.
He's recalling a time where he read about the Bible, or he read about Jesus when Jesus was tempted in the wilderness by Satan. You can have all these things. That's essentially Harvey Weinstein, Satan tempting him. You can have all these things if you just bow down. And we all have those moments in our life.
Saying you don't have anything to offer me. Like, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
that's what I got to look up to. So I'm going to follow suit in the best version I can, regardless of anything else.
Wow. That's really crazy. That's super cool to hear, even though like I don't know much about Katt Williams besides he like went on Shannon Sharp's podcast and completely he was like the whistleblower. He said like so many people were gonna be found out, kind of like the Diddy situation. He called out the Diddy situation before the Diddy situation even happened. So he knows. And it's cool to see like even though maybe he's, you know, not living a perfect life or whatever, but to see he still remembers what would Jesus do essentially. He's like, nothing can buy me. None of that I need. And that's such a great reminder. All right, I'm going to pull up a verse here. Matthew chapter 4, verse 8 says, "Next, the devil took him to the peak of a very high mountain and showed him all the kingdoms of the world and their glory. I will give it all to you," he said, "if you will kneel down and worship me." "Get out of here, Satan," Jesus told him, "for the scriptures say you must worship the Lord your God and serve him only." And the devil went away, and the angels came to take care of him. Who will you serve? Who will you serve? Who will you bow down? Who will you worship? You must only worship the Lord your God. And what is worship? What are you putting first in your life? What are you making the number one priority in your life? That's something that we all need to think about in our day-to-day lives. What are we putting first and how are we living our life? And we always got to remember to focus our lives on Jesus and surrender our life to Jesus each and every day. So guys, I encourage you to do that today. Know that he loves you and he's longing to have a relationship with you. Thank you guys so much for watching. I encourage you guys to go to Jesus today. Know that he loves you. In the description below, if you have never decided to follow Jesus, I encourage you to do that today. In the description below, there'll be a link. It'll walk you right through to follow Jesus. I think that'd be awesome. Yeah, I'm also on Patreon, so if you want to support me there, you definitely can do that. It means the world. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like this video and subscribe. Have an amazing day and put God first. Have an amazing weekend.